myself Santosh, and currently I'm working as manager in Microsoft, taking training for KSR for the last 5 years.
Before I start, I'll tell you one story. You need to tell moral of the story. That's a task for you. Okay. So I'll be telling one small story. And for that, I'm expecting moral of the story. You people all know frogs, right? You people all know frogs. Now, these frogs, they have their feature of living both in water and land. We all know this, correct? Now, there is a small story about this frog. Just listen carefully. And I want you to tell me what is the moral of the story. This frog was happily enjoying the day, right? Suddenly, it fell into a hot vessel. Okay, there is a vessel and there is a water, and it also entered into water by mistake, and now it is in the hot vessel. You know what happened? Since the water was there, it was like warm. It was very warm for it. For its body, it was very warm. So it was staying in the water for quite some time. After some time, what happened? The vessel starts heating up. The water gets evaporated, and at last, there is nothing left. It has touched the bottom of the vessel. Now the vessel also starts heating up. Unfortunately, now frog is not able to withhold the heat now. Now it is trying to jump out of the vessel. Now it is not possible. Initially, the water level was high. It could have easily jumped out of the vessel when it was a bit of warm. But staying in the same water because it was very warm, very warm, very warm, and the water gets evaporated and finally touching the vessel. Now it is unable to jump. Unfortunately, it dies. What is the moral of the story? If it had thought when water was there, it could have easily jumped out of the vessel. That was possibility was there. And just because it was very warm, it stayed in the vessel for some more time, which ended up killing itself. What is the moral of the story? Okay, get a chance when you get an opportunity, take it. Okay, next. That's all. What is the moral of the story? Okay, the way I will take this, right? The way I will take is this: knowing when to come out of your comfort zone is really important. If you miss it, you will miss everything forever. It had a chance to come out of the vessel when the water was there, right? But since it was very warm, it started staying inside the warm water, and it was staying forever. It started staying there only, and unfortunately it died. So knowing when to come out of your comfort zone is really important for each and everyone's life. Now you are in a comfort zone, you have to come out of it, and it's the time that you need to decide when you need to come out. Is it a right time, or you still want to stay in the warm water, right? So please try to take a decision as soon as possible about your career. Else, you will miss a lot of opportunities. I've seen a lot of people, fine, it's fine, let's do it next year. It's fine, let's do it after 2 years. You're actually postponing your success. As simple as that. With all that, let's get into the subject now. Let's get into the subject. In the last class, we have created our first chart. The first chart is something which you're seeing on the screen, which told us among consumer corporate segments, corporate as well as a home office, which one is contributing the high sales. This is what I wanted to get it. And we also got to know that we have consumer is contributing more. Okay. Now let's do another visual. So the first thing what I'll do is I'll go and try to understand what I can do it. There is actually subcategory. Okay, there's actually subcategory. So if you choose technology, so in technology you have machines, copiers, all this we have, correct? If we choose technology, in the technological products, you have accessories, copiers, machines, and phones. And similarly, you have office supplies. You have products like binders, supplies, everything. Okay. Now, my requirements is very straightforward. My client is asking which subcategory product is making highest sales. Okay. Now, listen carefully. This report I should have shown to my CEO of the company. Okay. So this is a report I need to project to my CEO, because CEO is a person who comes with a decision making, but you need to help them in decision making. So what I thought, why can't we give a chart to them which makes us decision better. Okay. Click number one, click number one, and I'll drag this. Okay, I'll drag this. So don't consider this as a click. Just consider this as a one click. Go here and take the subcategory in your x-axis and take the sales in your y-axis. Okay. Now this is an image. This is a visual that I have got it with respect to subcategory by sales. Okay. Undoubtedly, if you observe carefully, and you can see that maybe the font is less, but just carefully observe that this is phones. So phones has contributed to highest sales, followed by chairs, followed by storage, followed by tables. Now this is something which I don't like it. Why? Same fair blue color. Okay, same blue color. Fonts are very small. Though I was able to do this visual in 3 clicks, unfortunately, I cannot go and show this to my client because my client is expecting even more presentable. So what I will do, I'll go and right click this and I'll take a duplicate page. So this is a page and there's a duplicate page. Now in this duplicate page, of course, you can redo it. To save some time, I've taken duplicate. So there is a visual. Now it is there in 2 pages. In next 5 minutes, okay, listen carefully. In the next 5 minutes, I will show you what I can do with this visual. I repeat, in the next 5 minutes, let's see what I can make some changes to this visual so that I can report this to my client. Okay, so what I'll do, click this. Already you have filled the form. Go to the format your visual. Format your visual is like your makeup set. Format your visual is like your makeup set, right? You can do makeup to this visual, right? So I will go here and I will go and do all the makeup for this visual. Okay, so what I'm going to do, x-axis, this one x-axis, I will go and change the title to be 11, 12, 13. 13 is good. And I'll go and make this to be bold. And I'll make this to be black. Okay, so this is the x-axis. And for the title also, let me go and make it 13. And let's make it this. Okay, so this is 13, 13. Now the same thing I will do for y-axis. The same thing I'll do for y-axis. 10, 11, 12, 13. Make the font to be bold. Make the color to be black. And this is values only. If I want to do title, because sum of sales is there, right? So that also I'll want to change it. I'll go here, make that to be 13. And this also will make 13. So all good. Okay. Now, this is fine. I'll go and try to add a data labels so that I'll get to know how much each is contributing. So I'll go and have a data labels. Now, in this visual, now we have data labels. I'll switch on this data labels. For now, data labels is not there. So maybe I'll switch on the data labels. Once I switch on the data labels, I'll go and start observing this values. I'll go and change this to 12 or 13. Okay. And I'll make this to be bold. And I'll make this to be black, right? And in this, there is something called background. If you put background, there is background color that you will get it. That is a background color, you will get it. Okay, if you see here, the background color is changing. It is not exactly that color because of the transparency. So transparency gives you whether it should be a dark color or light color, but I don't want to really do it because this is something which is not looking that good, right? So transparency will give you the color combinations. So let's put it in maybe green color. Okay, and adjusting the transparency will tell you which is a black color or green color. Okay, now this is really good. After this, what I will do, I am done with this. Let me go to general. Let me go to general. So visual level also we can change. General level also I can change. In the general level, sorry, first of all, I need to change the color. I don't like blue color. So let me go and change the blue color. So blue color, let's make it some green color like this. You know what? There's another thing also you can do. Rather than selecting the single color, there is something called show all. Switch on the button, and for each also you can change the color like this. For each also you can change the color like this, which is ideally don't go and do this. I am telling you that there is an option. Okay, just because you are doing this, right? Don't do this. It's available. It's available, but don't do it. Okay, you are not going for any Rangoli competition here to have different colors for visual. What is really required is how beautiful it is, how neat it is. So don't go into color like this each and every bar. We never do this. Even though it is available, we never do this. Okay, so I'll go and switch off everything. Okay, and switch off everything. And what I'll do, I'll go and there is something called reset to default. For every box, there will be something called reset to default. Reset to default will change everything to blue color. Now you can go and choose whichever color you want. Okay, so this is about column, colors, data labels, x-axis, y-axis. Now all this is done at the visual level. Now I'm going to the general level. In the general level, what I did, I will give a title to this chart. It's already there. Sum of sales by subcategory, sum of sales by subcategory, but it is not visible. So I'll make this as to this one, and I'll put it in the center. Now it is actually towards the corner. Let me put it in center. Okay. And background, let me put it in black, and text, I'll put it in white. So this one looks good now. Sum of sales by subcategory. See, again, I'm telling my objective is just to showcase this to my client. So when I want to show this to my client, I have to have a very beautiful visualization. Okay, now this is done. And after that, what I'll say, I don't have any border as such, right? This is a visual. So I want some border as such. So what I'll do, after title, I'll go to effects. In the effects, I'll switch on this buttons called visual border, and I'll go and switch on the, so visual border means it will add a border for this. And after that, I will also go and add a shadow. I'll go and add a shadow. So if you see the shadow is been added here. Okay. And if you want to even more get it, you can choose a color, which type of shadow you want. Pink shadow, and yellow shadow, red shadow, orange shadow. So this looks good, orange shadow. Now you can also see whether the shadow should come outside or inside. So this is inside shadow. This is outside shadow. But if you observe carefully, the shadow is coming from only this line and this line. So you can also choose. If I keep only left side shadow is coming. If I choose right, only right side is coming. And if I want to choose top left, this is top left. So if I choose top right, this is the one. And the one which looks good for me is bottom right. Okay. So now you see, compared to this visual, how I was able to do a completely makeup. It's all about makeup, right? Mostly you would have seen in your Instagram how we'll have a like transformation from a normal person to a bride or a groom, right? We would have seen that type of makeups. Same thing I'm doing here. Initially it was like this, and I was able to do this. Okay. Now, you know what I will do? I have to present this to a CEO, right? Who is Amazon CEO? Andy Jassy, right? Okay. Assume that there was a different CEO before, and this guy is a CEO. I'm looking for one image of this. Okay. This image is good. Okay, this image is good. I want to present to this person. Assume that he's actually stepped down, but let's make him as a CEO for now. I want to present to him about my business. I want to tell him, boss, in your company, phones is giving the highest sales, shares is giving the highest sales. After that, everything is dropping. So I need to present to him. You know what I'll do? I'll download this image, save image as, and I'll store it in my desktop, Amazon CEO. After that, I'll come to my Power BI. Already I've done all the designing, colors, everything. Let me go to the format. There is something called plot area background. Click this. You can simply go and upload an image in this plot area background. And the one which I've already downloaded in the desktop, I will take that. Okay. And I will simply say do a normal fit, or you can also see a fill. So this looks good. and the image looks too bright, or even this content is something which is not visible now. So what I'll do, I'll go and change back the colors, data labels. I'll try to keep the background as white. Okay. And this colors of the bars also I'll change, because Amazon is actually known for blue colors. So let's keep some dark color. This is not that visible. Okay, this is good. Now, in this plot area, what I've given, the more than a visual, more than this bars, his face is so bright. So I'll reduce with the transparency. If I put like this, it will become very light. This is the ideal one. Okay. Now, when I present this, how it will be. When I present this, how it will be, which is good.
This is nice.
This is nice. When I want to present to CEO, I'll make sure that my visual covers everything. Of course, he's a person who's going to make a decision. So I want to give a presentation to him. I did the same thing. You know what? This is the same thing which I've also done when I was working for Amazon. And immediately they gave me 100% hike. Why? The report which I've done, the way I have showcased, right? That's my innovative. If you had done, you would have done in this way, right? If you would have done, you would have done in this way. But what did I do? I was able to help you with a report where it is very good for presentation. This is what clients like. The way you present really matters. Don't go and choose yellow color, pink color. Choose a color according to the company logo, company's color. Try to have a beautiful backgrounds for visualization, right? Now, this is where you need to take one extra step about doing this. And ideally, again, I'm saying whatever I've done, I have still not used my keyboard. I've still not used my keyboard. It's done only from using mouse. And one advice I would like to give for each and everyone who is going to work on Power BI, have an extra mouse so that your reports will be it's easy for you to do. Don't use laptops, a touchpad where you have to hover it with your fingers. Don't do that. It's a bit difficult. Even though I have been using system for more than 15 years, I always prefer having one extra mouse, external mouse. Having external mouse makes it easy for you to do the reporting. The entire page which you're seeing on the screen, the entire visual I'm seeing on the screen, subcategory by sales, I have never even touched my keyboard. I was able to achieve with the help of mouse itself. Okay. Now this is what is expected from you rather than doing this plain visuals. Now I can show this to my client. Okay. Now, question comes next is when I have to choose this type of chart, right? From the day one, that is from yesterday, I'm doing only one chart, which is called column chart. So this is also column chart. 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 But there are a lot of other charts. I can do this. I can do this chart. Can do this chart. I can do this. I can do this. I can go with pie chart. I can go with this chart. I can go this chart. There are a lot of other charts. So when I have to go for this chart is a first question. Okay, take this points. Okay, take this points. In case if you're knowing how to do this chart now, tomorrow you go and work in any business intelligence tool. See, we have already discussed Power BI is on top for last 5 years, continue to be on the first place. After 10 years, assume that Power BI is down. You have Tableau. Should not happen, but still it happens. Don't worry. In Tableau also, you will know when to use this chart. Maybe the way you do may be different, but how you do with respect to tool will be different. But in terms of chart features will never change. So please listen carefully. When you have to use this chart is what I'm going to tell you now. Okay. Now in this chart, listen carefully. I have added one segment and I have added one sales. I've added one segment. I have added one sales. In this, all are the columns. In this, all are the columns. And in this, we have the data. Okay. At today's session, just focus on data types. What is data types? The type in which the data is getting stored. Okay. Now, for now, I'll just categorize into three values only. three data types only. Profit, discount, quantity, and sales, if you observe carefully, they're all in the numerical numbers. They're all numerical numbers, like an integer or a decimal or a float value. So they're all numerical numbers. The one which you're seeing after that, product name, subcategory, categories, product ID, region, state, city, country, you can see that these are all called categorical variables. It is having some string value. It is having some words. So please call this as categorical variable. So far we have seen two type of values. One is categorical variable and one is numerical variable. The other one more data type is called date, which is in the date format. Okay, so this is numerical variable. This is categorical variable. Date, categorical variable, categorical variable, categorical variable, categorical variable, categorical, numerical. Again, categorical. All four are numerical. Okay, so if you're wondering if this is categorical, why not numerical? Do you have justification? Do you have justification? This is categorical or numerical? Categorical, because it has some character along with it is having some numbers. So preference was given to categorical variable. Now this is actually I can identify with the help of data. But if I go to the report view, here is where I'm doing the report. In this order table also, you can see that all these are columns. The one which is classified as a numerical symbol, you will see one small summation symbol next to the column. By chance, if you see the summation symbol next to the column, it is considered as a numerical number. So where and all we do have a summation symbol, we do have for discounts, postal code, profit, quantity, row ID, sales. All these are considered to be numerical variable, and something which there is nothing mentioned, category, city, country, customer ID, customer name, order ID, product name, where nothing is mentioned, we classify that as a categorical variable. Summation symbol, numerical variable. No summation symbol, it is considered as a categorical variable. And if you see, there is a calendar type box which helps us to understand that this is the date data type. This helps us to get the information. It's a date data type. Okay, so ideally we do have categorical variable, numerical variable, and date variable. I'll call it as C, D, and N. So C stands for categorical variable, N stands for numerical variable, and D stands for date data type. Okay. For the entire charts, I am going to give you a set of formulas that you have to remember for your rest of your life. Okay. And this charts, you will never ever find this in Google also. This formulas is designed by me. So you will not be able to get this formulas anywhere. You will not be able to get these formulas anywhere. Even if you go and browse in Google, you will never get it, right? So with that formulas, let's go and start doing the charts. The first chart that we have is column chart. So when should I use this column chart? This is a column chart. Okay. This column chart, I have added one categorical data, one numerical data. Right, one categorical data, one numerical data. Okay, now assume that both I have done this x-axis and y-axis, both I have done numerical values. Okay, this is also numerical value, this is also numerical value. X-axis also numerical value and y-axis is also numerical value. Tell me, is this chart really readable? Can you read anything from this chart?
No.
If you ask me, This chart is really good. It gives you a lot of lines, a very well designed, such a beautiful visual. Yes or no? It is looking good with lot of lines. I really like this. Can I use this? November 3rd, 7 o'clock in the early morning, 7:03. I'm telling you a statement. Remember this for your rest of your life. Whenever you're doing any visuals or charts, it's not about how beautiful it is looking. It is all about how readable it is. If others are seeing this visual, they have to understand this chart. Only then the chart is influencing our analysis. You can never use this type of charts in your real time. So what I will do, in case if you want to analyze, numerical value, with the numerical value, this chart is unfit. It is unfit for one numerical value plus one numerical value. This is my formula. So whenever in future going forward, if someone wants to analyze two numerical variables, please never ever go and use your column chart. It's the worst ever decision you can make. Okay. Now let's come for the other one. Okay. Instead of profit, let me add something called category. Now this is readable. I'm getting to know how much technology is making sales, how much furniture is making sales, how much office supply is making sales. Such a beautiful information. So whenever I have seen this report, the first thing is it readable? Absolutely no doubt about it. It's readable. So the formula which I will go and write for our calculation is, your column chart is completely fit for one categorical variable plus one numerical variable. This is the formula. So when you have to use a column chart can be used if you want to go and analyze one categorical data with one numerical data. No doubt about it. You can always go and use it. Now you may ask me a question. Can that categorical data be anything? Definitely yes. Instead of category, you take it region. It will still readable. East, west, central, south. Instead of region, you take segment. Still working. Instead of segment, you take ship mode. Most of them have ordered in a standard class. Working. Similarly, you're also taking the sales, right? Instead of sales, you can also take profit. Instead of profit, you can also take quantity. So it doesn't matter what is a numerical value, what is a categorical value, but always remember that you have to consider numerical value and categorical value. This is a formula that we have designed. You can find this formula only in KSR. No other websites will have this type of formulas to remember it. So this is something which we have designed for you to remember. In case if someone is asking to do an analysis on two numerical values, please never go and use this type of chart because it is unfit for numerical and numerical. But when is it is fitting? It is fitting with respect to categorical variable and numerical variable. So this is acceptable. Okay. Now I'll put a simple combination. Okay. What are the combinations I can do it? Either I can do 1C plus 1N, right? I can also put 1C plus 1N, and I can also put 1N plus 1N. So these are the three combinations I can get from these two groups, right? So if I want to get all the combinations of C and N, so this is I can use 1N and 1C. Sorry, actually it should be 1N and 1C. So 1C and 1C, okay, and 1N and 1N, and 1N and 1C. So this I've tried it, 1N and 1N, it's unfit. So I've tried with 1C and 1N, it's working fine. So the one thing which is pending is it's 1C and 1C. Okay. Now, carefully understand. I have to send two categorical variables and I need to compare whether the chart is really looking good or not. Okay. You know what I did? I started going and checking this condition 1C and 1C. So what I did in this category I took, in this quantity I've taken, So if I've taken a quantity, it is actually summing up. So in the entire quantity, in the entire category office supply, it is counting. In the entire furniture, it is counting. In the entire technology, it's counting. If I go and take a sales, this is also something which is counting. It's aggregating. It's actually counting. So this is why it's looking good. But what I need, I've already added 1C. I need to go and check for this one. 1C plus 1C. Whether this chart is going to be fit for 1C and 1C, I need to check. See, either you add 1N or 1C. This and this line number 12 and line number 15 both are same. Either you write 1NC or 1CN, both are same. So that's why I'll remove that. Total 3 combinations are there out of this 2. So one combination 1N and 1N I've already tried, which is unfit. The next one I tried was 1C with 1N, one categorical data with one numerical data. So one categorical data with one numerical data, absolutely working fine. Now all I need to know is 1C and 1C. So what I will do, this is already in C. And I will also go and take a customer name, which is a categorical data. And category is also categorical data. If I go and see this, I can still see that the data is readable. Right? But if you focus mainly here, even though I am adding a customer name, which is a categorical data, the output that is coming out of this field is a numerical value because it is taking the customer count. Okay. I repeat, very important topic. What I will do, imagine I have an Excel, and this is a students. In this, I have Anand, Kiran, Surya, Sachin, Vijay. Now this is a column. Okay, this is a column. Listen carefully. This is a column. This column is actually considered as a categorical data. Every value is in the string value, so it is considered as a categorical data. But if someone is asking today how many students attended the class, I will simply go and say count of these 5 people. I'll say count of all these people. It is 5. Now this becomes a numerical value. Though the column itself is a categorical data, if I go and count it, it becomes a numerical value. And that is why, even though I am adding 2 categorical data here, the second categorical data, which is a customer name, I understand it's a categorical data, but I am taking as a count. Since it's taking as a count, it is actually telling us in office supplies, how many customers are there? In furnitures, how many customers are there? In technology, how many customers are there? Well, overall, this visual is a beautiful visual which gives you an information. So I can say that I can also use 1C plus 1C, but internally, this C is converted to a numerical value. This C is converted into a numerical value. So you either use 1N and 1C directly, 1N and 1C directly. This is also acceptable. Instead of this, you also take any customer name, which is a categorical data. It is still acceptable because 1C is still acceptable. 1C. Categorical data, a category is also categorical data. Customer name is also categorical data. So acceptable. What is not allowed is if you take sales here and if you take a profit here, this is not allowed. The reason, it is 1N, 1N. One numerical value. So please never go and use 1N, 1N for a column chart. This is a very strict instruction I'm giving you. Going forward, if you are using a column chart, always make sure one should be categorical data, one should be numerical data. But the other one, it has some exception. Even though you add a categorical data, it is actually taking the count. And that is why I have given a formula 1N plus 1C or this is OR symbol, or You can also use 1n plus 1c because that 1c is converting into a numerical value. So this is a formula for a column chart. At any point of time, please remember this. I'm not writing any like own formulas here, just it's like C and N. So which is allowed, which is not allowed. That is what I am doing. Okay. Now, I will go and write this in the Excel so that it will be clear. I'll go and write it in the Excel. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll go and write it in the Excel about my formulas. For every chart, I'm going to write one formula. Okay. So this is the charts. And this is the best fit. And this is the unfit. Unfit. This is acceptable. Acceptable. Okay. So I have to go and write this formula now. So what I'll do, this is a chart, this is a fit, and this is a acceptable, and this is unfit. Okay. So this is something which I need to go and do it for every visual. The first chart which I have is, the first chart I have is column chart. For column chart, the right feature that I can always use is 1c plus 1n. This is always acceptable. This is also acceptable because it is internally converting that into a number. If I go and take a customer count here, it is actually taking a count of customers. So it's giving a numerical value only. So this is also acceptable. Acceptable. What is unfit is, what is not acceptable is this one. In any case in future, if they're asking you to do an analysis, which is two numerical numbers, never ever go and use this chart. For numerical and numerical, we have another chart that we will see later. But at this point of time, this is a formula that you need to remember. Anytime one categorical data, one numerical data, undoubtedly go for this chart, which is called column chart. We have covered our first chart. Any questions? Any questions? This too, you can use it for your analysis in the future. For this two type of values, you can always go and use column chart. Is it clear? Yes. Now, let's go to the second chart. Let's go to the second chart. Okay. The second chart, let's figure out what is the right formula for that. Instead of doing this again, this is a visual that I have, right? This is a visual I have, right? So what I will do, I will again copy this visual. Control C and Control V will work. Okay, Control C and Control V will work. So now I need to go and do a formatting for this. Okay, I need to go and do a formatting for this. Observe carefully and tell me what is happening. Okay, I will go here, change the x-axis to be 13 and change this to be in bold. Okay, and make it black. And maybe title also I'll make it black. Okay, now this is one thing. What I've done is it's a dim light 12. So now I'll go and do for Y also. So in the Y also I'll go and say 12 only. So values I'll go and change it to 13. And I'll go and change this. Okay. And after that, color is something which I don't like. I'll go and change this to a good color. And I'll add a data labels. I'll make sure that the data labels is 13. Make it bold. Okay. And let's make it black. Okay. And I'll go to general, make the title to be visible. So title, I'll put it in the background black color and the text color is white. I'll put it in the center. And coming to the effects, I'll add the visual border and I'll add the shadow. Okay. Now this is a completely I've done cleaning, and this actually it's bit of brown color. So let's go and change that. So let's go to y-axis, go to values. It's not a brown color, brownish, it's a black color. Okay. Now, if I ask you to find out a mistake from this visual, what it would be? It's completely formatted. Makeup is done. After makeup, still there is some problem. What is that? It's completely readable. Data is decreasing. That's not a mistake, right? That's happening in the business. Is there anything wrong with this visual? I'm asking. From this mistake, from this chart, what I'm asking is, what is one thing which could have been improved? Let me tell you one thing. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. This is actually a bookcase, right? So bookcase is nothing but it's basically a book stand. Now tell me, the bookcase is actually this one or this one? Can you tell me? It is actually in between. This is again, it is ending here, it is starting here. So it's like starting here and it is ending here. So if I ask you, this bookcase, is this is a value of bookcase or this is a value of the bookcase? Can you tell me? We need to check from the starting, right? So this is a problem I have. This is a problem I have. I have to check from starting. Apart from that, what is this? Axer dot 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 dot. What is furnish dot 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 dot? What is appliance dot 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 dot? Is it readable? Come to a stage where chart is really good, but slightly there are some issues. There are slightly some issues. I'm not able to see the full names. I'm not able to see the full names. I'm not able to know which bar is for which one. There is a slight confusion. So what I thought, rather than having this in the 45-degree, why can't I have like this? Like F, A, yes, like this, 90-degree. If I have this, maybe that will be a clear. So what I did, I started going to the formatting and I wanted to change the orientation. This is called the orientation, like how you want to orient your column names. See, just because it is giving you a lot of names. So here it did not give you like this. See, here it gave you in straight office supply, furniture, technology, because it has only 3 columns. So it is giving you in the horizontal, but either it should be completely horizontal or it should be completely vertical. But here it is giving in a slanted position. Unfortunately, the words are getting cutting off. Chart is really good. I can give 99 marks out of it, but 1 mark I'll detect for this. And you know what? Being a data analyst, 100 of 100 is what is your target. And this cannot be tolerated because it is confusing. Here it is not confusing. It is simply telling this is office supply, this is furniture, this is technology. And even if I add any other region as such, west, east, central, south, this is also working fine, right? And here also it's bit of okay, like fastens, labels, suppliers, paper, somewhat is it okay, because here it is readable. But when I'm trying to do this type of design, this is where it is spoiling. So what I did, I go and research like where I can change the orientation. Where I can change the orientation. What is orientation? Either it should be completely vertical or completely horizontal. No slanting for me. When I go and check this, in the y-axis, right? This is a this is the x-axis. Let me go and try. No, this is title. I don't see any options as this. There's something called concat labels. If I put also, nothing is changing. I don't see any orientation at all. Nowhere I'm able to change the orientation. Nowhere I'm able to change the orientation. I don't have an option to go and change this into either a completely vertical or completely horizontal. And I was thinking, hey, you people are saying this is one of the best business intelligence tool. It can't even go and change the orientation. What big tool you are? This is what I was thinking in my mind. If it's a best in business intelligence tool, means it should do everything for you. That is why it is called best. What is the meaning of best? You ask whatever you want, it gives you. What is this? Nothing it is doing. I want to change the orientation. It's not possible. The words are not readable. It's not possible. Which bar is for what? I'm not able to read. Come on, give it best. I'm asking this Power BI. Power BI is saying, boss, I'm sorry. I don't have answer for this. How come this is possible? Being one of the best in the market, if you say this is not possible in Power BI, do you think I will use your tool? Do you think I will use your tool? What if my clients get confused with this? When I say this, my client, you know what they did? This is a column chart. Try to don't think about the other word called stack. Think only about the word column chart. So that's a column chart we have done. But when I go and see that, my Power BI is saying, boss, please forgive me. I don't have a solution for this. I'm extremely sorry. I don't have a solution for this. But don't worry. As an alternative, I will give you another chart which is called bar chart. This is exactly the same. Instead of changing the orientation of the title, let's change the complete orientation of X and Y axis. Now this is 100% readable. Now try to find out a single mistake. You will never find it. Exactly for that bar, you will get that title. This I liked it. This I liked it. When I asked them to change the orientation of title, they said it's not possible. So I was really frustrated. How come you're being a best tool? You're saying it's not possible. But to our surprise, they had given another new chart only. This chart is called bar chart. This chart is called bar chart. The second chart which we are going to learn is bar chart. The second chart which you are going to learn is bar chart. Again, in the bar chart, I have subcategory and I have sales. Interchange, it has actually changed the x-axis and y-axis. It has changed x-axis and y-axis. That's it. But even here also, if I go and add two numerical variables, the chart is going to a state where it is not readable. It is exactly same like your column chart, right? Column chart and bar chart, exactly same. Only the orientation of the axis is changing. Even here, if I go and add two numerical values, y-axis is a numerical value, x-axis is a numerical value. In that case, this chart will become unfit. And it's an unfit for both bar chart as well. Now for bar chart, let's go and see 1C plus 1N. So get the 1C plus 1N. I will simply go and say category, working fine. 1C, 1N, 1C, 1N. So the right formula for this is say exactly same like this only. Okay. And even if I'm taking instead of sales, if I'm taking a categorical data, it will actually count it and it will still give you a beautiful visualization. This is also acceptable. This is also acceptable. If I accept this east, west, north, center, so this is readable only. But if I go and see this is also readable. So I am not here to debate which is good and which is bad between column chart and bar chart. It all depends on the use case. If you have more number of categories and if your column chart is not able to display it properly, go and use it bar chart. I am not stopping you between your column chart and bar chart. Both does exactly the same operations like 1C plus 1N, but it all depends on when you will use what. I will always prefer column chart. I will always prefer column chart. This is what I prefer. When I will go with bar chart is by chance if it is not readable like this, it is not readable like this. Only in this case, I will go with bar chart. No, it's readable. Both exactly performs the same thing. The only thing which I will think as point of view is at this point of time, whenever your column chart is not readable, you please go and give to bar chart. But I am not here to debate which is best, which is not best. I'm not saying bar chart is actually better than column chart. I'm not giving that statement. The statement I'm saying is both is same. You use whenever you want, depending on readability. The uttermost importance you have to give for the entire course, not only for today, for the entire course, what I am talking about the Power BI reports, the first priority you have to give is first readability, understandability. If these two things are fulfilled, then nothing you need to worry about. And that is what I'm giving priority. Column chart was really good, but only for that use case where I had more number of columns or the column names was bigger, it was not working. Fine, don't worry, go and use another chart, which is called bar chart. We have covered two charts. Are we good? Yes?
Yes, Santosh. Yes.
Yes, Santosh.
Yes, thank you.
These two charts, I'm telling you again and again and again, never use numerical value with a numerical value. It's actually prohibited. It's actually prohibited. If you have numerical value, don't ever go and use this both charts. Okay. Now, let's talk about another one. Carefully understand. This is the last chart which we are covering today. This is a chart, east, west, north, south, and I'll also take a sales. Okay. Listen carefully. If I talk about Amazon, the sales can happen in Jammu Kashmir. The same can happen in Tamil Nadu. The same sales can happen in East. which is maybe I'd say what is East Gujarat, if it's a take, or West Bengal, whatever it is, East, West, North, South, right? We have 4 regions. Out of these 4 regions, I am actually getting the values like this, correct? Acceptable? Okay. Now, carefully listen. My client is saying, boss, don't give me numbers. Like, I understand that it is giving you 0.73 million, 0.68 million, 0.5 million, and 0.39 million. I understand. I'm very happy for this. I'm very happy for this, that you are giving the total sales contributed by each region. Can you give me in percentage? Can you give me the numbers in percentage? This is what my client is asking. Hey, what is this? It's a very easy question you're asking. Let me go and do it. I'll go to the formative visual. I'll go to the data labels, because data labels is what is numbers. So I'll go to the data labels and I will choose percentage. That's all, right? Very easy. In the values tab, display units is there. You simply go and choose none. Exact value will get it. No, this is not the one I want. Thousands. This is in million. This is in K, kilo. No, this is not also I want. Millions. This is also million. This is also million. Billion, trillion. Oh shit, I don't have a percentage here. I don't have a percentage here. I was very happy about column chart, because whenever I have a categorical data and whenever I have a numerical data, one categorical data, one numerical data, this is one of the best chart that I can use it. But now it's a checkmate for me. They're asking a percentage, which I'm not able to get it. Either I can go with the auto, or I can give it none, or it will not give any numbers, or possibly thousands I can do, or millions I can do, or billions I can do. But unfortunately, I don't see where I can give. If I give 1 decimal or 2 decimal, it will give the 2 decimals. Or if I give you 3 decimals, I'll give you 3 decimals. But I don't see anywhere that I can get a percentage. This is a drawback of my column chart. It was really good for categorical data with the numerical data, but in that numerical data, they are asking to be in a percentage format. This is where, as a person, I'm not able to do it. Very disappointed with column chart. Very disappointed with column chart, because your column chart is actually good for numerical value, categorical value. That numerical value, if you want in a percentage, the chart says, I am not going to do this. I will not be doing this. This is a problem that we had with respect to column chart. Okay, let's try with bar chart. In bar chart also, I go here and I try to see the value here. Here also, I don't see anything else except from this billion, trillion, million, thousand. Except this changes, it is not giving me in percentage. What I am expecting is 25% in East, 24% in West, 22% in Central, 18% in South. All this should add me 100%. That is my expectations, and it is not giving. Whether you do a bar chart or you a column chart, unfortunately, this requirement is not fulfilled. This requirement is not fulfilled. Okay, then I was thinking about if there is any other chart. I was thinking about any other chart. I also remember that percentage can be achieved with the help of, I also got to know that with the help of pie chart, I can get to know what percentage it is. 31%, 29%, 50%, 21%, 17%. This is nothing but East, West, Central, South. Now, this is a chart that I really liked it, because I wanted in a percentage format. Now I will go to data labels. Now I'll go to data labels. In this visual, I'll go to the data labels. It's basically details label here. For each and every chart, this parameters will change. And here, if you see, if I put only data value, only this is coming. This I was able to get it in the column chart only. This actual numbers, I was able to get it in the column chart only. So this is not needed. Percentage of total. This is what I was expecting. This is what I was expecting. Whenever you need a percentage value rather than an actual value, your first option should always be a pie chart. Your first option should always be a pie chart. Now, apart from that, is there anything else I can get? I can also get category and data value. So it will also tell this is east, this is west. Already I have a color. Blue means west, dark blue means east, orange means central. I already have color. So this is unnecessary for me. And I'll go to the next one. So category percentage is also there. That is also unnecessary because already I know that blue color is west. And if you want everything, you can tell that this is east or west, and this gives you the actual number. Also, it gives you a percentage. This is readable. More details are there. But ideally speaking, I am okay with only this one. Percentage is enough for me. The main purpose why I'm coming to this chart is it's mainly because of percentage value. So the next chart that we have learned is, let's go with third one, which is pie chart. Listen carefully. In pie chart also, let's do a workaround. I need to check for which is fitable, which is acceptable, which is unfit. I will simply go and replace 1n with 1n. 1n with 1n. That is profit with sales. Numerical with numerical. Such a beautiful visual. What a color combination. I really liked it. Can I use it? Can I use it? Such a beautiful combination, right? See how beautiful it is. You understand or you readable, that is not matter for me. It is very, very, very good in terms of color combination. Can I use it? Are you people going for a data analyst role or are you going for a Rangoli competition? Where are you going? You're going to be a data analyst, not about how colorful it is. Okay, such a beautifully, the color has been gradiated, but this is not the one I'm looking for. So here also, unfortunately, 1n, it is failing. So here also 1n, it is failing. Okay, now let's talk about when I will go with pie chart then. So pie chart, if you see the pie chart 1n is not working. Let's go and change to 1c 1n, but the same formula will work for 1c and 1n, but provided you want that numerical number to be in the form of a percentage, only then you use pie chart. There is a slight modification with respect to my column chart and pie chart. Exactly the same thing, one categorical, one numerical, but in that numerical value, if you are focusing on a percentage value, in that time, rather than going with a column chart, go with a pie chart. Same concept, but here it was an actual number. Here, that number will give you in the percentage format. So if you want any value in the percentage format, straight away, please go and do it in the pie chart, right? Now, I will go and also do it in one categorical plus one numerical. This is what I need to do. When I want to do this, let's go and do this. So instead of sales, I'll try to bring a categorical data. Is it readable? Yes. This is also categorical data, but this time the count of the customers, it's not giving in the number format, it is giving in the percentage format. So this is also acceptable. This is also acceptable. So the difference between 1, 2, and 3, if you see, unfit is always unfit. But if you want that numerical value in the percentage format, only then, other than going with the column chart and bar chart, you please go with a pie. Other than going with the column chart and bar chart, go with a pie chart. If they're asking only numbers, the choice is yours. You have two options. Either bar chart is also possible, column chart is also possible. Only if they're asking a percentage, as of now, as of today, as of November 3rd, the only chart that can give you values in the percentage format is none other than the pie chart. Is it clear? Okay. See, again, I'm telling you will never find this way of formulas anywhere in Google. I have created my own formula. Are we good till now? So like this, we will be covering all the 30 charts. This will be the agenda for the next 2 weeks. Once you get to know which chart I have to use for what type of data, and we will be doing one reporting. Okay. So with that, we will continue with few more charts in the next class. So please do remember this formulas. Don't think as a formulas. It's just your understanding. 1n means numerical. 1c means categorical. Okay, we'll be seeing a lot of other things. So please focus. Every chart will have a pros and cons. The consequence of one chart will be another pro chart that is useful of another chart. And that's how we are going to learn all the 30 charts. By end of 2-3 weeks, you'll be learning all the 30 charts, when I have to use what. And you know what? If you know this, even tomorrow, if you're going with a Tableau or even if you're going with any BI tool, the formulas features will never change. This concept you would have already learned in your 10th standard geometry class. They would have asked you to bring a graph sheet. They would have asked you to plot a bar chart and column chart, but you never knew when you have to use it. Now you got to know when you have to use it. You will never ever forget forever from now. That's the objective of the charts class. Okay, with that, we'll stop here. We'll continue in the next class. Next class is going to be on Monday, which is going to be 6th. And as promised, KSR has given you 5 free classes for the people who join newly. Okay. In the next class, we are going to work with the 4th chart, but it is going to be paid classes from 6th. Next class is going to be paid class. So if you are able to understand what I was teaching for the last 5 days, if you're comfortable with the teaching, what really matters is you have to understand. If you don't understand, please drop out. If you're understanding, continue with us. You will learn a lot. Okay. So as I said, the complete batch will be for 4.5 months, and the class will start exactly at 6:30 to 7:45. Okay. The classes will be there from only Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, either you will be like given some extra classes on like soft skills, or you will be also part of doubt clearance or questions. Okay, doubts, questions, all this we will be answering. If you want to talk to our mentors, we are all available on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so this is what complete information. So please get registered with a team, call to our support team. You can directly pay from our app as well. You just need to go log in as a student. Is it clear?